Hello and welcome to Business News. Getting citizens to switch to the use of liquefied natural gas as a safer alternative to fuel has remained an uphill task for the federal government. It has prompted the government to put in motion a 10-year plan to propel the use of gas across the nation. Abdulatif Yusuf reports.
The domestic consumption of gas in Nigeria has exceeded 1 million metric tons for the first time in the year 2020. An indicator of the federal government's plan is gradually being achieved, but Nigeria still has a long way to go as the current indices rate it lowest in LPG use in Africa despite the opportunities in the gas sector. The level of LPG use in northwestern Nigeria is 4% compared to about 14% in other regions of the country. The Nigerian Content and Monitoring Board is here in Katsina to officially commission the 100 metric tons butane LPG storage and bottling plant. Also present are the state governor and the Minister of State Petroleum.
Our governing council mandated the management of the board to investigate taking up active role in commercial ventures to further enhance the realization of the 70% target level of in-country value retention by the year 2027.
Active preservation of the vegetation cover in the north is very key to the survival of the region. More than 90% of its people use firewood for energy.
You don't have to go too far anywhere in the north to understand and appreciate how much of our vegetation has been lost, how much we are facing in the devastation of climate change. The second reason was to see how we could, no matter how little, find jobs for our people.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Timipri Silva, is represented by the Permanent Secretary in his office. He explains that the passage of the Petroleum Industries Act has reinforced the commitment of the ministry to achieve greater targets.
The passing of Petroleum Industry Act 2021 by President Muhammad Buhari has reinforced our commitment to transform the oil and gas industry by creating an enabling environment for accelerated investment in exploration and field development projects, integration of host communities into the benefit plans of the industry, and entrenchment of local content as the driving philosophy.
Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari welcomes the initiative calling on the people to take advantage of the gas availability to save the environment.
And for those of us here in Katsina, our forest or vegetation cover as of today is only 14%. What is the minimum globally accepted percentage? 26. So we are far below the expected vegetation cover in Kaduna State. And even in the whole country, we are still below the 26%.
The butane energy plant has the capacity to store 100 metric tons of gas and is capable of generating over 20 billion naira from these and 4 other plants on the way. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
Reactions are still trailing the federal government's decision to remove subsidy on petroleum products, and the latest is from the National President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Samson Ayokunle, and Archbishop Panti Philibus Musa. They have asked the federal government to engage stakeholders before the subsidy is finally withdrawn to avoid a crisis. Owolabi Adenusi filed in this report.
The proposed removal of oil subsidy by the federal government is expectedly drawing a lot of criticisms from Nigerians. The government has promised to assist 40 million vulnerable people with a monthly stipend of 5,000 naira. But many Nigerians have scoffed at this pronouncement, describing it as a misplacement of priority. Speaking on affairs of the nation shortly after his re-election as the Archbishop of Lutheran Church of Christ in Nigeria, LCCN, Dr. Panti Philibus Musa urged government to provide more jobs for the teeming youths. He says the removal of subsidy at this time is an ill-timed proposal.
The federal government knows the reason why it is deciding to give 5,000 to 40 million. But I think above this, for me, would be to ask how can we create more job opportunities for young people, for men and women who are out there. Create a conducive environment for business. Let there be stable electricity. Let there be good roads. Let there be good schools. Let there be good hospitals. Let there be good agricultural facilities. Our poor farmers in the village, they don't care about all these political squabbles that we are dealing with, all these political fights. The poor farmer in the village, I know, I have families in the village. As long as there is rainfall, as long as there is fertilizer, as long as they can find tractors, they don't care about all the things that we are dealing with in the cities and all these political fights.
The national president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Dr. Samson Ayokule, cannot be more in agreement. He warns that people must be carried along, otherwise, further hardships on Nigerians will be unbearable. He laments that prices of food items have skyrocketed with no increment in salary, with many households finding it difficult to survive.
So if you remove the subsidy totally, and the nation is paralyzed by civil rights activists, the Nigerian Labour Congress. The NANS also have declared that they will run the nation aground. You make several billions of losses due to the crisis. Then at the end, what do you gain? So you step one step after the other. If you are not able to reach a place where you drop the entire subsidy at once, you may be able to withdraw certain part of it.
Analysts taking apart the planned monthly 5,000 naira to assist the vulnerable, arguing that if calculated yearly, it is more than the money spent on fuel subsidy in a year.
It's come the way of some residents of Ilorin, the Kwara state capital, following the reconstruction of their roads. One of the roads had been divided into two by erosion, while others were in deplorable states before they were fixed. Correspondent Ibrahim Alege reports.
The roads are located within Ilorin metropolis, the Kwara state capital. This road opposite Government Secondary School, Amule, extends to Shao Garage in Ilorin. It has been in a deplorable condition for so long. Abdul Ghani here is a resident of the area.
This road, we don't start them before, but never finish them. As I this road, they stop us. I beg the government where they help us.
The reconstruction of the road has commenced, and just like here, Abdul Rauf Abdul Rahman is also asking for a quick completion of the reconstruction project. For the residents of Ayigbami and Adabiya, accessing the main road that leads to Subi Specialist Hospital was a tough task because the road has been adversely impacted by erosion. Erosion has been the major problem along Ayigbami Adabiya Road in Ilorin East Local Government area of Kwara State. In fact, it cut the road into two at some point. But now that the road has been tarred, it can now be plied by motorists without any hitch. The construction of the road was facilitated by the member representing Ilorin East and Ilorin South Federal Constituency in the House of Representatives, Abdul Ghani Cook Olodudu. He's here to inspect the level of work done on the road.
This is one of the things they told me when I was doing my campaign, that is their problem. And I promise, by God's willing, if I'm elected, I'll say as much as possible I can alleviate the suffering of my people. And this is one of it. They've done our own by 40 for me. I've not done my own. As promised, this is one of it.
He wants people in the community to own the roads and ensure they are properly maintained.
I'm using the opportunity to appeal to the community that they should not block the drainage and they should not drop any refuse into the drainage so to make it last.
So we thank God, we thank God and we thank for governments to assist us to do this road. We are passed here yesterday So, and we are really enjoy this road as they are doing it.
Ibrahim Alige, TVC News, Ilorin.